And welcome to another episode of Experts Speak. I'm Michael DeLon. Yeah, that's my name. And hey, today I am talking with two of my favorite people. And I don't say that to everybody, as you know, but Beth, Tuggy, and Matthew Garber have become not just vendors, not just business partners, but friends, because we do so much business together. And I wanted to bring them on because what they do is so cool. And it's really helped us in our business. And I think it's going to help you. You're going to get some great ideas. So first of all, let me welcome Beth and Matthew. Welcome to Experts Speak.
Thank you. Glad to be on.
Thank you.
You are welcome. So let me give just a snippet of a background of why you're here and who you are. But then I want one of you to just jump in and kind of explain the background. So Matthew and Beth, they with a team of people own a company called Gift Hopper. And Gift Hopper is a company that allows you to send physical fun gifts, food items, candles, seeds, all kinds of things to your prospects, your clients, to wow them, to impress them, to build a relationship with them. It's a marketing strategy that we've been using in our business for a number of months now. And we've worked with Gift Hopper to systematize the entire thing, which is awesome. We'll teach you about that later. But I wanted Beth and Matthew to come on and just give us some background on Gift Hopper. Where did this idea come from? How long have you been doing it? And then after that, I want to talk about the idea behind gifting and building relationships. So where'd this whole idea start?
I guess I'll jump in because way back at the beginning, this is 10 or 15 years ago, I was in a startup with some other fellas, and we were basically running into this situation. One of the key salespeople that we were working with was always making contacts and always feeling like he was letting certain things fall through the cracks. And he said, I need some way to make it really simple for me to make a tangible impact and a follow-up and make a connection with people that I'm meeting and people that I'm connecting with. So at that time, we started a prototype service. We tried a couple of names. Just Because I was the first name, Just Because I Care, or Just Because I Wanted to Send You Something. We eventually settled on littlesomething.com because our real focus was gifts that were inexpensive, $10, something that would just make a tangible impact, include a little personal message. But then from there, as we developed over the years, we rebranded as Gift Hopper. And Beth came on board and really has taken over our operations. One of the main reasons we rebranded for that is we found, look, this is really business focused. I mean, we had personal users, of course, but there was so much need in business, and that was kind of part of the original vision. So we rebranded as Gift Hopper and launched a few years ago and have been building since.
That's great. And I remember a little something. I think that's when I first came to you years and years ago.
I think so. Yeah, I remember you from that.
Yeah, to send out a little something, and they were really cool. And then we dropped off and did some other things, and then came back. And it's funny. I'll put a plug here. We came back, I think, through an email that you sent out. I was still on your email list, and you sent an email out, and I responded to that and connected with Beth, and we had a conversation. So all of my listeners, email marketing does work. You know, I promote email all the time.
Yeah.
So email does work, but gifting really works. So let's talk a little bit about gifting from a business perspective. Okay. Most people listening to this podcast are business owners. They're entrepreneurs. They're in a variety of industries, right? Some of them are local business owners. Some of them run a national company like us, reaching people all across the country. And let's talk about the philosophy behind sending gifts. So you started there with that salesperson. What other things, why is it important for business owners to send gifts? What's happening there on an emotional level and all of that with the person, the recipient, getting them?
Well, I think that the main thing is gifts help with connecting an emotional connection, with making an emotional connection. And that is where, relationships are built.
Yep.
So, you can't deny that.
Yeah.
We've all experienced it, know, so.
Well, and the cool thing there, as you work with Beth and her team and Gift Hopper, you're sending a gift and they create it. And if you're watching the video of the podcast, if you're not, you need to go to watch that. They send it in this nice big box, right? Depending on the size of the gift, the box varies. when somebody gets a box in the mail, guess what? They open it.
Right.
And that's the whole deal. And not do they just open it, but when you open it, you know, wow, it's got my logo in it, and it's got some really paper. I don't know what you call that paper, but it's got paper in it. And then the gift is in there, and I don't even have it now, but they have this little note that I get to write to my prospect or client, and that's sitting in there. So it's an experience.
Right.
It's not like getting just something in the mail, right? It is an experience that they remember. I've forwarded them. I was going to say, you won't believe how many, but you will, because I try to forward them to you. All of the texts and the emails and the calls I get from my prospects and clients who get these gift hoppers, and they go, thanks, this is going to be so good. Because a lot of the things I send are food items. And so they love getting, like, you know, chocolate covered pretzels, or my favorite are the chocolate covered coffee beans, right? People get these things and they're like, oh, I'm going to take this home to my family. That's awesome. That's that emotional connection you're talking about. And
I have a memory, Michael, of being in college over 20 years ago and away from home, and go into the mailroom one day, and I go, and they little note in the mailbox saying you got a package, which, okay, I didn't expect that. Go get it. And it was just this wonderful little package of food, or I don't even remember what was in it, but it made this emotional connection. It was from my grandmother. And here I am 20 years later, and I still remember that outreach that cut through. I don't necessarily remember most of the phone calls that came from family, although those were special when they happened. But the package just made this emotional impact. It was a tangible way of showing that my grandmother was thinking of me and cared. And here I am 2 decades later thinking about that. So I think that even in business, that emotional connection matters. I just saw a statistic the other day that basically pointed out that well, let me pull it up here. The relationship of people who have a personal connection, that's it, with a brand or company, have a 306% higher lifetime value. And it makes sense. If you have a professional you trust and you care about, then you want to go back to them. And especially if you feel like they care about you and they value your relationship and they're willing to invest in it. And that's what these gifts really convey.
Yeah. And
I have a similar story. When my husband and I were living in Atlanta, I had hurt my back. And so we had a cleaning company come in once a week and clean our house. And I would take the 4 kids to the park, let them play for 3 or 4 hours, come home, the house would be sparkling clean. Well, the first time we did this, there was a gift on the countertop, just something small. I think it was a tiny little picture frame with some inspirational saying in it, something like, today's a good day for a good day. I just thought, wow, that is so special. It was like the icing on the cake. You know, my house was sparkling clean. They provided excellent service, which is the most important thing. But then on top of that, there was this little gift waiting for us. And then after that, and I did not expect this, every week there was another small little gift, and they would put it in a different room of the house, just leave it somewhere. And the kids got to where we would come home from the park and they would go running through the house to try and find that gift. So yeah, that created a memory, a fun memory. If we were still living in Atlanta, they would still be our, our cleaning service.
They would. And they would be telling all of their friends about these cool gifts to get more referrals back to their business. Okay, business owners, are you listening here? It is about building that relationship, but it's about marketing differently than anybody else so that you become a household name and a member of that family. So you get orchestrated referrals, people telling people about you going, wow, did you see this? I mean, I'm certain that when my package arrives and they open up and it's these 2 wonderful, delicious pretzel rods and they're eating them at their desk, all their buddies are walking past going, hey, whoa, where's that? Where'd you get those pretzels? I'm certain that happens, right? And so the other aspect is, so I send pretzel rods that people, devour. But the other things that we've sent are these, they're hot rocks. They're smoked hot rocks from Africa, which is just one of the items. So it's a spice. And I send this as a gift to my clients and I say, hey, let's spice up your marketing this year by helping you become an Amazon bestselling author or something like that. So I tie my message into it, but that will sit on their kitchen table for months, probably. And every time they look at that, every time they use it, guess who they're thinking of? Yeah, my branding's not on this at all. But they think of me every time they see it. That is what we're talking about. The power of building that relationship and them going, I like him. Good. Because, we want to do business with people we know, like, and trust, right? Gifting is a great opportunity. Matthew, you talked a little bit about it earlier. Cost effective, right? So we're small business owners. We've got to manage our budgets and things. Talk to us about just kind of the price ranges, because you've got inexpensive, you've got some expensive things, which sometimes is the right thing to order, right? Talk about that. And then I want to talk a little bit about the systemization of how easy you have made it to do this. That's the other thing that really sold me on using Gift Hopper. But talk about the range of gifts, the pricing, the types of gifts. I mean, we're in springtime now. I know you've got some seeds and different things that are just fun.
Yeah, I'll start, and then I'm sure Beth can add more as she's more directly involved in the gift selection. But the price range varies a good bit. I mean, we go down to maybe the $5 to $7 range, and then up to probably over $100 a gift. And it really varies based on the relationship there. And that is something that's hard to kind of set a formula. One thing that we do at Gift Hopper is we're extremely high touch. You can set up an appointment with us at any time. We don't charge you for it. You can talk to us about what you want to do for your gifting campaign and what might be appropriate. And of course, that varies based on a few factors, like how well you know them, what stage of the relationship you're in, and really what the purpose of the gift is. If it's a thank you, or if it's just a kind of more of a get your attention kind of gift, there's so much to think about there. But what we do is we try to curate this really classy selection into different price ranges. Then of course you also have to figure on your budget. One other thing we do in our service is we allow for those personal messages that go out with each gift to be either printed or handwritten if you desire to add that additional personal touch. So we can help you kind of craft that all together. There's a book some of you may have heard of called Giftology. Actually, Michael, I think you and I spoke about that when we first talked. Yep. And he uses a phrase that I really like called planned randomness. And essentially what he does, he says, I don't gift at Christmas time. I don't gift at all the traditional times. He likes to gift in February, April, times when it's not expected. On his end, it's very planned. He is deliberately reaching out. He's deliberately saying thank you. He's deliberately making a connection. But on the recipient side, they don't expect a gift in April, and something shows up. So that's another factor. What is expected? And when nothing is expected, that gives you can only go up from there. And so those are some of the factors we consider on the price ranges and such. So Beth, I don't know if you want to add more about selection and the kinds of gifts.
Yeah, we're always adding to our product line, and we are happy to work with you if there's something that you don't see on our store. We have a broad network of vendors that we can pull from to search for just the right gift. So the sky's the limit,
It is. And you use some local vendors. You guys are out in like Pennsylvania, right?
Yes.
And you use some local vendors who make some of that candy and different things. And that's really cool. And you've got the little seeds that you plant, flowers that you can send people seeds to go out and, think about sending something like that in the springtime about, hey, let's help your business grow this year. And every time they plant those seeds and they see those flowers, guess who they're thinking of? Again. Right. And so you just being a little creative in the messaging, it helps, but going on their website, gifthopper.com, and just seeing everything that they have and how simple you've made it. So you've got an opportunity for people to come and order one gift if they want, or they can do a systematic system, which is what we've set up with you, where we've actually built a spreadsheet of every month of the year, because I send a gift out every month to a select group of people. And they get a gift every month because they're the ones I'm wooing, right? They're my centers of influence. I call them my mavens. And so every month they get a gift, but I've built this spreadsheet. It's got every month. It's got the gift I'm giving. It has the note. It's already written. It's all done. I spend about 30 minutes a year now planning my monthly gift giving. And it's a system. And then every month, Beth and her team gets an email and she just takes care of it and it's done. And so business owners, you got to understand it's a system, right? Because if I had to stop every month and go and look at your website and do it, I probably wouldn't do it. You've made it simple. And so this is a system that's in our business now that will operate, well, as long as I have the company and as long as you're around, which I think is going to be a long time. So think about that from a business owner's perspective. Talk about the simplicity of how you've made things. They can just go there, they can pick an item and get it sent off. I mean, probably under 3 to 5 minutes if it's just a one-off thing, right?
Yes, that's correct. That is our goal, is to make it as simple as possible. I think the challenge that people are up against is just the fast pace that we live. Mm-hmm. People want to gift, they want to make those connections. It's really hard, because time is of essence, Yes. So our goal is to make it as simple as possible. Initially, there's some groundwork that you need to lay, like you and I did with planning out your spreadsheet. Once that is, the plans are in place, then it's just very simple and easy to stay in that routine of gifting in different campaigns, whether it's internal birthdays, internal anniversaries, referral campaigns. All of that can be planned out ahead of time in advance so that what's coming, you know.
Absolutely. So let me jump in there with campaigns, right? Because I'm always teaching, how do you precondition somebody to hire you before they talk with you? So business owners, listen to this. Somebody sets an appointment on your calendar or somewhere for a week out. Have the system built that they get a gift hopper. You immediately send them an email to Beth and her team. They get a gift in the mail about 4 days later, a day or two before that meeting. They're like, wow, that was cool. Or what we do a lot of times is after we have a call with somebody or after somebody becomes a client, I have a client gift that automatically goes out to them. Usually after I meet a new maven or sometimes even a podcast guest, I have an email that goes out to you. The podcast gets a gift. I've gotten so many emails and messages saying, hey, that was super kind of you. You didn't have to do it. That was awesome. They love it. And I've had 3 people tell me, man, you are really good at this follow-up thing. It's a system, right? But you all make it so simple. We've just thought through and said, oh, I could send a gift here. They're not expecting, trust me, nobody does this in business, right? That's why it's so important for you to do it as a business owner, to say, I'm going to market in a way different. And the cool thing is your competition doesn't know you're doing it because it's direct mail. I love that. It's just, you two have made it so simple. And the way that the gifts come and the experience that they have and the way you can systematize it. And then, so Beth and I got on the phone. You talked about budget, because we're small business owners, right? We gotta manage our budgets. And Beth said, well, how much do you want to invest every year? I'm like, I have no idea. Because it could, I have to tell Beth all the time, I've got to stop ordering from you. But by the way, here's another order, because I love what you do so much. So my budget keeps going up, but it's so effective. So I think I came to you the first year, and I said, you know what? I don't know. What if we allocated $3,000 this year? And we divided that by 12, and we said, okay, math is not my strong suit. Let's say it's $500 a month. I don't know what it is. And that includes the gift and the shipping and the labeling and the licking and the stamping and the mailing. Everything's included. You don't have to do anything. And I said, okay, I'll do that. So I stepped out, and I think it was like that. That's what we did the first year. I'm sure we've added more because we just keep adding gifts because it's so powerful. But a small business owner could look at this and go, okay, I have $75 a month that I need to do, and I only need to mail to 10 people. Is that okay? Do you work with people that small? Say yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, they do. That's the cool. You can do one gift. You can do a variety of gifts. Sky's the limit.
There's really no size that we won't work with, because and this is something we're really passionate about too, because we're a small business. We're a small family and friends team that pulled this business together and launched here in central Pennsylvania. We love working together. We love serving our clients, and we love the fact that when we do our job, it means that someone else is getting delighted by their whoever's sending to them, our client, our member. So it's a win-win-win to us. And if it's one gift a month, if it's just occasional, come to us anyway. We'll get you set up. But I really liked what you said, Michael, how there are very few companies out there that are doing this. And then even companies that are sending things, there's sort of this philosophy with some that they send you swag that like stamps their logo on it. Now we do put your logo on the box, but on the gift items themselves, they're designed to be something that I'm giving this to you. There's no strings attached. I'm not asking you to walk around and market my business on your t-shirt. I mean, there's a place for swag, I guess, but real thoughtful gifts statistically are shown to be a lot more effective. And why is that? I mean, it seems pretty obvious, because it's a gift without any strings attached, because you're willing to invest in a relationship. And that's what's so surprising. I mean, when Beth was telling her story about it being in Atlanta, she expected to have a clean home when she got back. That was the service, that was the exchange. But what that company did is say, we're going to go a little bit above and beyond. We're not asking you to upsell. We're not making this overly transactional. We're investing in you. And here Beth is, and I'm sure, again, if Beth was still in Atlanta, she'd be telling more people about that service and being a word of mouth advertiser for them. So, I mean, this stuff is stuff we are so passionate about, because it's real authenticity. And then the one more thing, I just throw one more thing in there, that in a virtual Zoom based world, which is great, we can sit here and talk face to face. But, there's certain elements of that are missing. You can see and hear one another, but you miss some of the other senses of taste and touch and smell that don't come through a screen. And while it's not quite in person, it is amazing when you're separated by distance or by pandemic or by other circumstances. Make that connection, and it just makes a real impact. It cuts through all the electronic noise and gives someone a moment of, wow, I feel like somebody just cared about me in a unique way. And that's appropriate in business as well as personal. So we're really passionate about what we do, because we know it's out there making an impact every day. And we love working with you and your projects. And I think, every time you forward us something that one of your recipients has shared, we're like, all right, there's another good testimonial from Michael. We love it.
That's good. Yeah.
We pass it around our team internally.
Well, and that's good. And you mentioned earlier, and I hadn't really thought about, because I'm a team of one here, and I've got people scattered across the United States. But if you had a team of people, and I've sent some gifts to my team, right? And I probably need to do more of that. I guess I'm going to send you more money. So, but loving on our teammates in a very tangible way and saying thank you, because it's not all about money. I mean, I'll take a pat on the back and an attaboy any day. And if you want to add to that some chocolate covered pretzels, well, that's even bonus, right? But it's thinking about our team, because that's your number one customer, really.
Yeah.
And then taking it out, but it's being thoughtful, and you probably know your teammates' birthdays and maybe their anniversaries, sending something like that. But you're right, not putting your name on it. It's not about that. It's about the memory and the referrals that are going to come, because when you do that, I had another podcast guest, Vance Morris. So y'all can go back and look at that. Vance Morris, he does Disney experience. He used to work at Disney. There's a whole company out that talks about how do you create a Disney experience in your company. And part of it is like that. He's a carpet cleaner. He's got a carpet cleaning business. And he's like, when we go there, we lay a mat out, we wipe our feet off, we walk in, we thank them, we hand them a gift. And it blows them away. Now, if you took that and then after that followed up with Gift Hopper to deliver another gift to them, how many referrals are they going to give you?
Yeah.
Right? And we all know that a referral is the second best way to get a client, or the second best client you can ever have. First one's a current client, right? Who
Right.
more.
Right.
But a referral is great because it doesn't cost you very much in marketing. This is a marketing strategy that you need to be using. You need to think about gifting and how do you systematize it in your business. Gift Hopper makes it super simple to do.
Yeah.
So.
One other thing, Michael, if I can jump in too, is just there's sometimes it's so easy to dump $1,000, a couple $1,000, even as a small business. You know, we're getting hit with all these expenses, and it's easy to dump that into a billboard or social media. And there's a place for those things. We need to advertise, but sometimes we challenge our members to think about taking a small piece of that, you know, one billboard cost per month, or one, you know, social media campaign that maybe just gets you a few more likes, and think about what that $1,000 or that $500 could do if it was simply put into investing in your most strategic core relationships. And it goes back to what you're saying about getting people talking, because it's surprising. That's what we talk about, right? Guess what happened to me at work today? You know, and if something surprising happened, then I have something to talk about when I go home at the end of the day. But that's kind of the idea, and investing in the relationships that really matter. Sometimes, you know, there's a lot of other things we can put our money and time into, but let's stick with the basics. And this is basic. This is very basic, but we make it very simple to do.
Yeah. And very powerful. It definitely added a wow factor to our marketing.
Mhm.
And Gift Hopper is part of our marketing mix. You know, we've heard of that marketing mix forever.
Sure.
I debunk it most of the time, but this is part of our marketing mix because it goes out very strategically, and that's why we use it, and that's how we teach it for our clients. When you're a client of mine, it's one of our playbooks, is the gifting playbook, and Gift Hopper is our resource there because it's a strategic marketing strategy that builds credibility in the mind of the recipient. Because again, nobody does this, right? And it's super, super powerful, super, super affordable, and just fun. So the first step really is for them to reach out, probably gifthopper.com, and then scheduling a call with Beth or somebody on your team, right?
Yep, that's right.
And as you can tell from her demeanor, Beth is a high pressure salesperson. So she's going to keep you on the phone right now. Just call, and you're going to have a Zoom call with her. She's meek and mild, but she knows what she's talking about, and she can figure out how to make this work for you. And it's been nothing but a joy to work with you. And Matthew, before we hopped on the phone, you said, I asked you if there's any like free resource or anything, and you came up with this really cool download that people can get at your website. It's 8 ways to bring a tangible touch to a virtual world.
Mhm.
And I love the title of that. I've got the link. It's going to be in the show notes. But where can they get that? If they go to gifthopper.com, tell them where to navigate to get that, because that's really cool. It was like gifthopper.com/
Sure. Yeah. A little bit of a longer URL than I wish, but it's gifthopper.com/pages/paperback expert, one word.
There you go.
Gifthopper.com/pages/paperback expert.
Awesome. We'll capture that, put that in the show notes as well, because it's really a neat little PDF that you created, 8 ways to bring tangible touch in a virtual world, because that's where we're living. And like you said earlier, bringing back for me, the tastes, right?
Yes,
the dark chocolate covered espresso beans are to die for. And then I got the candle. There was a coffee scented candle that we sent out in November, December. And I'm telling you that in my little office here, that thing just, the aroma was awesome. And I used that candle for multiple days, right? You can do it over and over until it burned out fine. But all of those little things is how you make a tangible touch in a virtual world.
Right.
And every time you do that, it's one more touch point, one more connection, one more emotional string that you're connecting to that heart. And I tell people all the time, we all buy emotionally. When you win the heart, you get the pocketbook, because the mind follows the heart. And so if you want to gain clients, get more referrals, and grow your revenue, I highly recommend you reach out to Gift Hopper and integrate gifting as a marketing strategy in your business. So Beth, Matthew, thank you for being here. Thank you for what you do. And thanks for who you are. You both are genuine. And that's why I love working with you so much. You're just normal, everyday people who have a passion for what you do and who've created this really, really cool system that is super powerful. So thank you.
Well, thank you for having us on, Michael. It's been really fun talking about it. And yeah, you keep talking about the chocolates. So I think we need to resupply you, but I'm glad you're enjoying that. It's been a fun conversation.
Well, I've enjoyed it. We're going to use this as part of our playbook for our clients, and hopefully keep sending clients your way. But if you're listening to this, send this out to other people, because gifting is great. And you Gift Hopper is definitely the company that I highly recommend. So you two, thanks again for all you do. I look forward to staying in touch and probably sending a lot more money your way.
Thank you, Michael.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.